So we messed around with USPS and we found out they mean business. They are not playing around. We're going to get into today about how I got upcharged by eBay for having a package that was underweight. Also, we had a huge sale today. Do you see the item that could make our big sale? Hey everybody, my name is Mr. Florida Flipper, and if you haven't watched my channel before, I'm a part-time reseller trying to make it full-time. And this is my garage in Florida, and this is where all my treasures lie. We have a couple of different things to talk about, and we have 2 orders, and one of them is a really good one. It's one of our biggest sales of the year, that's for sure. But first, let's get into our topic. So I'm sure many of you heard and seen in all my previous videos that USPS changed their rates on 3 to 5 pound packages with Ground Advantage and made it cheaper to ship a 3 or 5 pound package, cheaper than shipping a 1 pound package, 2 pound package, and even under 1 pound packages. Basically, unless it's under 4 ounces, you're going to pay more to ship a 3 to 5 pound package. It's kind of crazy, but that's the world we live in. You haven't heard, about a month ago, USPS changed their rates for 3 to 5 pound packages, Ground Advantage, making them cheaper than almost every other shipping service. Now, many people and myself also believe that this was to combat them losing business to FedEx and UPS, mostly FedEx. FedEx typically over 1 pound was where I would ship most of my items because I would save a couple bucks shipping them that way. Now, like most of you and one of my commenters on my last video mentioned, they don't want to use FedEx. It's not as convenient as the post office. The post office comes to your door and you can schedule free pickups at your house. If you didn't know that, just go on the USPS's website and schedule a pickup. I think I have a video about it, but also I'll do one again in the future because it's been a while. But yes, so you can schedule a pickup from USPS and they come to your door, and instead of just having to pick it up at your mailbox if you have larger packages. So it's just more convenient. And like I said, my commenter mentioned, it's just, we want a fair price for the service that we get, and it's just not something that's in the cards right now. With USPS's recent increases in price prior to that adjustment that they made on the 3 to 5 pound package weights, we were paying more to ship something via USPS than we were to ship FedEx, and a lot of people started using FedEx more and more. And I think that USPS started to see that hit their bottom line. So about a month ago, like I said, USPS rolled out pretty quietly, actually, not too much. USPS rolled this new price change into effect without much fanfare, but it was a decrease in shipping rates for 3 to 5 pound packages. And it made it cheaper than almost any other service they offered. And so people started saying, what should we do as resellers? Should we start putting rocks in our packages? Should we start putting extra packaging? Or should you just put the weight that you're supposed to put on the package and have integrity and do what you're supposed to do and follow the rules? Well, I made the decision for my business and what was best for me. I decided that for most packages, if it was cheaper to send 3 to 5 pounds, and it was close to 3 to 5 pounds, because it still is cheaper to ship about 8. It seems about once you hit about the 10 ounce range, the price starts to go up. So for a 3 to 5 pound package, the starting price is $5.83. And since the prices of shipping have gone up, I stopped doing free shipping. So I started using calculated shipping. And most of my items have started to sell to people that live in the areas where $5.83, which is the cheapest option you can get, that's the people that are buying my items. So they're paying $5.83 to get their package shipped to them, which is about the cheapest that you can pay. I believe that the cheapest you can pay in my, the best zone for me, so the closer you are to Florida, obviously, the cheaper it is to ship to you, is $5.47. Maybe I think I've seen a $5.25, but that's for a 4 ounce package. So the $5.83 for a 3 to 5 pound package is amazing. So like I said, I made the best decision for myself, and I wasn't going to put rocks in my pack. I didn't want to overdo it on the packing material. I wasn't going to put stuff in there that didn't belong. I used bubble wrap and paper, and obviously a box if it requires it. But I did start putting items that normally I would put in a poly bag in a box to give them that extra weight. But I've been doing that since this new rollout came out, and I haven't seen any ill effects. There were some rumors about people getting upcharged on the lower weight packages, or the packages being underweight, that they were actually charging you. If you paid $5.83, they were actually charging you what you should have paid if you had a 12 or 14 or 16 ounce package. And that could be about a $2 or $3 difference. And like other creators and myself, other resellers out there, we didn't think that USPS would charge people. Another big reseller, Commonwealth Picker, he even said that in their bylaws, that are somewhere in their rule books or something, I can't remember exactly what he said, that it doesn't say anything about charging you more if you declare your packaging way more than it was. Because typically that was never how it worked. If your package weighed more, you paid more. But with this new crazy world, now it's different. And for about a month or two that I've been doing it, I haven't had any problems. But I just recently sold something, and guess what? I got hit. I'm going to put it over here on the side. I'm going to do split screen for this, and I'm just going to show you guys exactly what happened. But yeah, as you can see over here, I got hit. And it was about a $2 and something charge over here. So I declared the package to be 3 pounds. But it wasn't 3 pounds. Which honestly, I'm not even weighing my packages really anymore. I try to eyeball it, and I've never gotten a credit from USPS ever for having my package be too light. So that's something that they say they do because they use their APV, their automated postage system. I don't know what the V stands for. But yeah, they use that to weigh packages and measure them as they're going through their system. This is all done automated and sent out automatically, and they charge you through eBay if your package is you say it's too light and it's actually heavier than it's supposed to be. Well, typically that's how it would work. And throughout my eBay career, I have gotten a couple of those. I've probably gotten 20 or 30 of those adjustments, and usually there are a few bucks here and there. Sometimes they can be crazy, especially that's one of the reasons why I don't like FedEx. FedEx, especially more recently, has changed how they do their weighing and packaging. Like they take dimensions and the weight and make up how they're going to charge you. And I've gotten like a $15 upcharge for my package weighing like a pound more than I said. So yeah, but for me in my business and how I do it, I just don't, and I'm probably bad. Maybe I should. I don't weigh my packages, nor do I usually measure them. Most of the items I go for are small things that can fit in a poly bag. So typically I don't really worry about it. Now, when I have bigger items, it does make a difference. But so yeah, so like I said, over here, you can see it. I had an adjustment because I said it weighed 1 pound, 10 ounces, and I declared that it weighed 3 pounds, and they charged me $2.43. So they are now charging you for saying your package is heavier than it is. So it's a crazy thing. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It just shows the hypocrisy of the rates. It shouldn't cost more to send something that's lighter than it should to send something heavy. If you send a motorcycle in the mail, it shouldn't be cheaper to send that than it is this pair of shoes right here, And I know that's a little over the top, obviously weight difference wise, but I mean, you're talking about something like this ink right here that probably weighs 4 ounces and can fit in a poly bag and takes up no room. It's easier it saves the mail carrier. I mean, they have to carry these things to their truck, take them off their truck, load them, unload them, picking them up from your doorstep. And picking up something like this that's light compared to picking up something, I don't even know if I have something that's 3 pounds, but like this clock, for instance, this probably weighs 3 pounds, maybe 4 with a box and all the packing and stuff. But I mean, put that in a box, that's a lot bigger. You're having to lug that. It takes up more room. And then also you have to think about going through the system. It takes up more room. Going on a big semi truck, it takes up more room. So it just doesn't make sense, to me, and how I view things of why they would want to do this, why they want to encourage people to send heavier boxes. But basically the lowdown of that story is you're probably going to see these coming more frequently. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can fight against these and how I've successfully fought against most of the ones that I've ever gotten. And coming up in this video or maybe in my next video, it just depends on how long this one runs because I do have 2 great sales that will run really good sale that I want to show you guys. But yeah, final word on that. It does seem like that's going to happen. So I'm probably going to be a little bit more cautious about how I pack my packages. I actually just sold another one of those tanks. It's the exact same thing. And I went ahead and weighed it too with no box or anything. And that tank does weigh 1 pound and 10 ounces. Then with a box, which I thought, I'm like, this is going to put it to 2 pounds. No way. But box is apparently the size box I use, which this tanks are right here. I'll show you. Hang on. Oh, I don't have any out. They're all still packed up in the box, so I can't show you. But I'll put a little picture over here of the tank that I just recently sold. It's probably like 12 inches by 6 inches tall, maybe. And I put it in regular size box, and I put a lot of packing in it, and I padded some paper, and then I put it on the scale, and I still couldn't get it to 2 pounds 1 ounce, because like I said, you just have to get it to 2 pounds 1 ounce, not the 3 pounds. And I just said, what am I doing? I'm spending probably, it probably would have, it's worth the savings, I guess, is to actually pad your packages. But I got to a point where I'm like, I'm putting a ridiculous amount of packing in here, and it's just going to be dumb, where I literally might as well go grab a rock from outside to put it in the package to make it weigh 3 pounds. I gave up, put the 3-pound label on it, and sent it on its way. In my opinion, that's their job, to catch those things. They have an automated system for this exact purpose. I'm not trying to cheat the system, but I'm just doing my thing. Okay. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Put in the comments. Call me the bad guy. Call me, this is why they have to do these things. I guess that's true. But going forward, I probably will be more mindful of it, especially this little item right here. I got this from Goodwill, and it was in a past video. I just kind of wanted to try out some toys, and I've never done it before. And it was at Goodwill. I think it was $3.18. But then when I got home, you guys might have noticed it's missing one of the headlights, and it's a little bit more beat up, which the ones that sold were also beat up. So that wasn't really discouraging me, but I just didn't notice that. But I ended up selling this guy for $12 plus the buyer paid shipping, because like I said, I don't do free shipping anymore because of the crazy rates. And I'm doing a 3-pound package, and this probably weighs maybe 12 ounces, I would say. So we're going to get this bad boy to 3 pounds. I am going to send this out in a 3-pound box. I'm going to make sure I weigh it, and I don't want to get a charge back for it. So yeah, $12 for that guy right there. Earlier in the video, I showed you guys a little scan of my shelf here and said, can you spot the item that I sold for big money? And I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds and just tell you a little bit about it. So I've had this item for almost coming up on a year, probably now. Maybe probably about a year, because I think I bought it before Christmas, maybe September-ish time, I would say. So it's coming up on a year that I've had it. And I have slowly brought the price down, and it's just an item that doesn't sell quickly, I wouldn't say. It's a certain person that's going to buy this item, and it finally sold. I had been talking with this buyer for a while, going back and forth. They were really interested, but they were also kind of pushy. They were like, I'm buying a lot of items, and I need to make sure I have money for this. And I'm looking at somebody else's that also has the other thing, because there are more than one of these listed, but not that many. There's a few out there. Some listed as high as $600, and some listed about where I sold mine at. And so I was happy to get it. I paid $3 for this item on Whatnot, like I said, about a year ago. No one else knew about it, which I didn't really. I just kind of took a gamble at it. It looked nice. It was something, that I could see value in for sure. And yeah, so we sold it, but if you didn't see it yet, it is back here. I'm going to grab it. Without further ado, this is the item. If you guessed it right, you're the winner. And this is a cross of Jesus, obviously. And I know some people might be upset with selling this kind of stuff, but it's just one of those things. It's people want this, and you're providing them something that they wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. That's how I look at it. And that's the thing. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But yeah, so this is a very nice piece. Actually, this is a porcelain figure handcrafted by this man named, I'm going to butcher his name, but he's Italian. This was made in 1986 in Florence, as you can see here, and I am trying to be very careful because the last thing I want to do is break this. But his name is Giuseppe Armani. You can see right there on the plaque right there, kind of. He makes several of these types of things, religious figures and sculptures. There's tons out there, some that go for thousands and thousands of dollars. This one I sold, I ended up settling at $225. I had it listed for over $400 at one point. I had dropped it down to $285, and then I had, like I said, had this buyer talking to me, and we were going back and forth. They were sending me lowball offers at first, and then finally she said, I really want this. I'll pay $210 plus shipping. Will you accept? And I said, no, I'm not going to take that. The lowest I'm going to go is $225. And she ended up, at the very end of the day, after almost 12 hours, I'm like, this person's not going to buy it. She ended up buying it. So for $225, we sold this figure, and we're just going to give it a once over, because this is one of those items that I'll probably never come across again. But I mean, just very detailed work on it. Very nice. Made in Italy on the back, little badge there. And this little plaque right here, this is metal. This isn't plastic. And then also right here, being very careful not to drop it, you can see, put it upside down here. Well, it says 5,000, 23 of 15,000. So he only made 15,000 of these. But yeah, really nice piece. And it came beautifully. The seller who shipped it to me did a really good job. I've always bought from him before, and just a really nice piece. I mean, look at the detail on the impale there. Just nice. So yes, we sold this for $225, bought for $3. Hey, that's a big sale. That's what we need to have. I wish I could get one of these every day. Oh, and then you can see he signed his work there, which is just, it's just nice touches. You just see little details like that, like the little detailing of when he made it, the detailing there, just these little tiny things like this is just shows the craftsmanship that he had and the pride he had to make these items. Just really nice. So I hope this person enjoys it. I hope nothing goes wrong. I am going to pay the extra insurance on this because you are covered with most USPS packages. You get $100 insurance with your purchase of your label, but I am going to pay the extra $10 or whatever it is to get the extra insurance on this because obviously it's worth more than $100, and I'm gonna pack this poop out of this thing. I did not say 3 or 5 pounds. I actually said 6 pounds for this item, and I waited, and I already had boxed it and everything, kind of to make sure I had the right packaging on that. But we're gonna stuff the poop out of this thing and make sure it gets to that buyer safely. But we just hope there's no returns because she was asking questions, and one of the things I say, I don't like to sell to people who ask too many questions because they end up being problems. So, but we'll hope that that doesn't happen. So this video is running a little long, but we'll put the how to fight those charges if you don't already know in my next video, so you can know how to fight against those USPS bad guys that are upcharging us and stuff and get your money back. And I've done it successfully, like I told you many times. But that's going to do it for me, guys. This is Mr. Florida Flipper. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Thank you guys so much, especially the people who were in my comments last time. Thank you guys for commenting. That means the world for a small creator like me. But I got to see you guys next one. Mr. Florida Flipper, out.